Welcome everybody to another episode. Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to keep that in. I'm keeping that in. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Cellarmen's Folly podcast, episode 23, I think.
Michael Jordan.
23. MJ. Michael Jackson. Magic Jordan.
Magic Johnson.
I thought Michael Jordan's number was 45.
No, get out of here.
That was the other team, or was that baseball?
That was when he came back on like the Wizards.
Yeah. What was his number on the Space Jam team? Was it 23?
I think it was 23.
Yeah, it probably would have been inappropriate if it wasn't.
Yeah. You know what Blink-182 always says, no one likes you when you're 23.
True.
I mean, if you think about when we were 23, I probably would have hated all
I did hate myself then. Yeah.
Yeah. No, just
I hated myself then and now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
A dozen or so years later, it's like, wow, some things change, some things stay the same.
Yeah. Colin, I don't know if you are realizing, but you left the funny background up.
I did that intentionally.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. You know,
should have a conversation with Skeletor.
Yeah, just look over.
Yeah. Definitely want to make sure that the specter of death is known. For I am not feeling well, but I'm here because we have a lot to talk about, and naturally because having a little bit of mystery whiskey is probably the best medicine we could have.
Yeah.
But
Always.
yeah. I thought I'd change it up a little bit and just keep that background because it represents my state of being today.
Yeah.
Yep.
You weirdly look just like him right now.
Yeah, no, I feel like him.
Yeah. So besides the mystery whiskey, are you good? Do you have anything else to drink this evening?
I wish. I am so full of medicine right now.
Yeah,
I would probably just shoot my liver.
But
Yeah.
maybe some hot tea.
It would just be completely shot. Yeah, I got some OJ.
Nice. Okay.
Water.
Good.
Yeah.
Kayla, what about you, Ben? What are you drinking? I saw you drinking a beer earlier.
Oh yeah. You ready for this?
Oh yeah. Not your father's root beer. Wow. I haven't seen that in forever.
Is that the regular one or is that a strong
Yeah, I mean, they changed their label a while back. I'm not sure if somebody bought the company out or not because they used to have like so many different flavors. Not your father's orange creamsicle, and they started to do like not your mother's and all this stuff. Now they just have, as far as I can find, just this one basic one, just the root beer.
Yeah. They did a Mountain Dew one at one point.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Such a hit for that. Do you remember when,
oh my God,
we were crazy about that? Like 10 years ago or so.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I remember the first time we had it, Caleb and I were on tour in Ohio. Yeah. And we were playing at some bar and they had it there and we're like, oh my God.
It's great. It really is great.
Yeah.
They had I remember having the fruit punch one too, which was kind of weird because it wasn't carbonated, but it was just slightly. So it just tasted like it was flat or something.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
What do they call that? Not your father's fruit punch or not your child's fruit punch? Or
it was not your father's still.
Okay.
Fruit punch. Yeah. I think that was it.
Yeah. Okay. Because I don't know many adults who drink fruit punch. So
my dad
isn't a fruit punch drinker. I can't imagine seeing a grown ass man drinking fruit punch.
I got a not your father's root beer one time at Trader Joe's. This was like a long time ago before I worked there at all. And it was like 11% or something.
Yeah.
Special one. So
is that the 5? Is that like 5-ish?
Oh yeah. I think they only have like, this was 5.9. So around.
Gotcha.
I think
that's really hard finding those strong ones.
Yeah.
I remember for a while we were on the hunt for them everywhere. And find them.
Yeah. Well, I'm drinking the local brewery, Prison City, their seasonal pumpkin Escobar. It's a porter made with simple roast coffee and pumpkin. It's very good. It's 7%.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't sleep much last night, and this is going to put me right to sleep. I might be sleeping by the end of this podcast, I'm going to say.
Oh, don't worry. I can put you to sleep. I can talk about the most boring shit ever. Also, before we continue, that beer could definitely go in a cocktail.
Oh yeah.
And we could totally have like an Auburn, like Menage a Trois with Simple Roast and Prison City and Cellarmen's Folly. Like,
I would love it.
Come on, guys. We're all local beverage companies. Why are we not getting in bed together and making a really delicious coffee, porter, whiskey flavored cocktail?
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Promotion right there.
Yeah.
I used to
have I used to have this rule where I can't drink pumpkin stuff until October 1st, but then I switched it to like mid-September now because it's hard to find pumpkin after October 1st. And I do like a pumpkin stuff. I'm a fan of pumpkin
really
stuff.
True.
Yeah. I mean, it comes out in like mid-August and I'm like, it's too early.
Yeah. So I changed my rule this year as well, because I also agree, like, you got to wait until October. But I changed it
September
this year to
September.
Season. I changed it to September 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Because
the first day of fall. Yeah.
So it's okay. Fall officially is here, so I don't feel bad about drinking pumpkin flavored things or whatever. But
yeah,
I wouldn't let the house get decorated with pumpkin shit on Saturday or this past Saturday. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Gotta draw a line somewhere.
We just decorated over here, but it was just like over this past weekend.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, when I dropped off your mystery whiskey, I was loving the little guy that's hanging off your deck.
Oh yeah.
It's in the corner.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that thing's really cool.
I found that in Old Forge the last time I was up there, and normally things are really expensive along that little strip, the main strip of Old Forge. But I don't know, that wasn't very much. You can go to like Spirit Halloween and those things cost like between $30 and $50 usually.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting one in Old Forge. It was only like 20 something.
Oh, nice. I thought you stole it from someone's front yard or something.
Yeah.
I just found it in Old Forge.
So I just was driving a couple hours away.
Yeah.
just picked it off someone's.
Yeah, it was just, it was hanging on somebody's tree. I thought they were getting rid of it. I just took it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we have a few things to discuss. We just had a cocktail class last week, which was very fun. It was
very tasty
cocktail.
Yeah, it was chai mule. I was going for something more like chai spice. It was fall, right? Appley. September is apple season, and it ended up tasting like, and I'm quoting Colin here, Christmas morning. And so maybe I went a little too far with the spices, but I don't know. I thought it was still very. Maybe I was a little premature with this beverage, I think.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic.
That's not the only time you're premature. It's okay.
Oh my God, Colin.
We're gonna leave that in.
Okay.
It was perfect for apple season. I mean, it was apple heavy, and it was a little sweet, sweeter because of the. What else was in it? What did you have in there?
It was just apples, whiskey, and ginger beer.
And the ginger beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, the gingery stuff is more Christmassy, I think, but
yeah,
it went well together. So
yeah, I thought it was delicious, and it was cool to see how many, like, because it was the first time doing a mule, and we also stuck to the same thing that we've been doing the last few months of like doing a traditionally non-whiskey cocktail.
Yeah. Well,
and turning it into it.
Colin's actually done a mule a couple of times.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's why I feel like crap today.
That one out of
God.
But back on the drink for a second as well. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I was pouring I drank the whole ginger beer too.
Oh wow. Do you put it all in?
You put the whole thing in the drink?
Not in the drink, no, but I finished the drink really quickly because it was really good.
Yeah.
I probably finished the actual like cocktail in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
and everyone else is just sitting there drinking, talking about how it is. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with myself. So I just kept pouring more of the ginger beer into my glass so it would look like I could participate.
I see.
Did you eat the apples?
Great. I loved it.
Oh yeah, the boozy apples after.
Yeah, I ate all of them.
Yeah, the apples were awesome.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was a really cool added thing, because I didn't know until after I made it the first time. I was like, oh, I don't know. I put them aside and I ate one. I'm like, oh my God.
That gave me an idea too. You know, it's like we don't really do, or at least I don't see many like boozy foods that could be like served at parties or whatever,
Right.
like little gatherings. And it was like something like that where you just have like apple slices or pear slices or something like that, and just have them like sit in booze for a while. And then like take them out and like serve them with like
dude, yeah,
toothpicks or something like this. I'd be like, that is the most wonderful idea ever.
Yeah,
like, I feel like I need to do something like that at like my next like house function or something, or the next time we have a get together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking the whole time when I was trying to eat the damn things out of my cup and I couldn't get them. I was like, I need a toothpick, and these things are good enough to just eat all the time.
For sure.
Yeah, that was good. And then thanks to Saranac, everyone got an extra beer as well. So yeah, it was awesome. It was a great cocktail class. And because we did it
beer right after, or
I had my beer right. I had my beer during the class. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I had my beer the day the day after I got the kit. I think it was the day. It was within hours.
Yeah, that's right.
I had mine the next day, I think.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see again, like the last few months, probably starting with the Long Auburn iced tea, was when we started doing like all the cocktails that aren't necessarily whiskey cocktails. Like the Long Island iced tea does not have any, but Caleb threw his in.
Everything but whiskey.
Everything but whiskey, and then we just added more whiskey, and then the whiskey daily is the John Daly is typically vodka, I think.
Drink.
Yeah.
And then
the Burberita is a tequila drink, and now a mule is a vodka drink. So it's cool to get to experiment with this, but and it was cool to see everyone that had a copper mug. A lot more people had copper mugs than I thought they did.
I was shocked how many people have a copper mug, because I don't have one, and I felt embarrassed. Oh man,
like a big goblet.
There were so few of us that didn't have one.
I know, but I will say a couple of people that made up for not having one. One was Caleb, because he had this huge like what was it? It was like a stein or something.
Yeah, it was a crazy looking like dragon stein that I got at Dragonfire.
I see. Okay, cool.
Wait, why would they sell it? I mean, they're not trying to fill one of those with whiskey, right?
I don't know what they're filling it with. Maybe just for cocktails, I guess. Stuff like that.
And another person, and I need to shout this out too. Is Rick also made up for it, because he used his for this one he did use the skull glass,
his signature skull. Yeah.
But, and I know I brought it up to you guys in a text message.
We're not going to let him live.
Rick, we know. You don't have to say anything, but we know that you did not use the skull glass in August for the Burberita.
Yeah. We weren't going to say anything. We weren't going to say anything in the moment, but we noticed. And
maybe it's because the only thing I think of is when we salted the rim. Maybe it's not a good rim glass. You know what I mean? But Rick.
Yeah, disappointed.
It just felt violating.
Yeah.
It didn't feel the same.
And we are a little embarrassed that we didn't notice, but we found out. We found out.
We went back. We went through the tape.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had that sheer moment of horror where it was like, Where's the skull? Where's the skull mug? It's like, is this a regular glass? Oh,
yeah.
No.
But anyway, it was a great cocktail, which leads me into this month's cocktail, which is we're doing another old fashioned. And we've repeated a couple this year, but I think these ones, like the Burberita, was a well requested one, right? So people wanted us to do it again. Like it was a hit.
It was very different too.
It was very different. And also we've done 2 different whiskey sours, also very different.
Yeah.
One was the New York sour with the wine on top, and the other one was just like a play on a whiskey sour. But this one, Caleb did a old fashioned last year, and actually it was the same month, October.
Yeah.
And then this time, our special guest is Aurora Cafe and Gifts out of Mattydale. They're a brand new cafe that just opened, all vegan.
Very excited to check them out. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, they have great coffee. They use simple roast coffee there, which is great, and their baked goods are phenomenal. I also got a veggie wrap, and they also have like a chickpea like scrambled egg, but using chickpeas like breakfast wrap. That's really good. Yeah, and their baked goods, their cookies are like unbelievable. But they will be our special guest this month. And we're going to be doing a sugar cookie old fashioned, and I'm excited to have them. I've known Mike, one of the owners, for a while. He works at Singers, but him and his wife own the shop, and we're excited to have him on there. So October 24th, it's a Monday. That is when we're doing the next cocktail class. So get ready for that. I'll be sending the text messages out probably this week just to confirm who can be there. And also next week is Whiskey Wednesday. We're doing it again. Hopefully no more technical problems.
Yeah, we are solving our Zoom woes.
Yeah. So Whiskey Wednesday on the 12th. Hopefully you can make it. It's fun. We just chat and have a drink. We're literally doing that right now. We're literally filming a podcast next month.
The last Whiskey Wednesday was still great. It was just a podcast featuring Tony,
yeah. And my dad popped in. And
your dad popped in. That's true. Yeah. But Tony was, he was a trooper. He was there the whole time.
He was.
So we just had a grand old time, chit chatting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get more people coming and hanging out.
Yes. Yeah. I think I knew a couple people that tried, but gave up.
That was our fault.
That was our fault.
Yeah. Technical.
So, we'll let you. We'll fix those problems. And next Wednesday, Whiskey Wednesday, gonna be fun. What else? What else we got?
Well, I mean, we got that big news about our labels being approved.
Yeah, that was
noteworthy.
Yeah, kind of a hassle with them too. It was the first time we've gotten something sent back to us and was like, you got to fix some things.
But but you got to think about it this way. So, I mean, everybody who's listening, they probably don't know. If you can hear squeaks, my dog is playing with a really loud toy. So
it's okay.
Let's hope that we can't hear that on the feed. It's a stupid little mouse too. It's not even a dog toy, it's a cat toy. Yeah, my pets are weird. But there are so many like ridiculous regulatory things we have to go through. And I feel like we have been really lucky because granted, we still haven't gotten our state liquor license application approved yet. They haven't
very
said
close.
Anything bad. I mean, we're very close. But like throughout the entire process between getting our actual DSP to any other permit that we've applied for or anything, it's just been like, oh, you actually did everything right. Like stamp approval, keep going. It's like, wow, this is weird because, doing all the research about everything that we've had to do over the last few years, you just hear nothing but horror stories.
Yeah.
Or how like people have gone back and forth with their paperwork with the government, however many times. And that's not been our experience.
Yeah. I mean, it's been time consuming. I mean, this is now, been almost, we got our LLC in March of 2019. So 3.5 years of us trying. COVID was a big stop in that, of course, but like still like it hasn't been a cakewalk, but it's been but I mean, as far as, you're right.
The DSP, our original permit to do distilling operations, that probably took us about 2 or so months to fill out all the paperwork, and then it took 6 months to hear back from them, but they were fine. Like, it was fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, with the labels, we did hear back. We had to make some changes, but they were minor. You know, I mean, the thing is, we've known for such a long time what has to go into this stuff. Like, I feel like we just know it. But like, for anybody listening, if you ever pull out a bottle of whiskey, or you're looking at like a label of a bottle of wine, you don't think about what has to go into that. Because there's like, what, a dozen or so things that the government has to approve on it. Or there's so many things that have to be on there that you'd never think about. So I think it's really easy to screw it up. And the fact that they came back to us and was just like, I'll make these few small modifications and then it's fine. And we're like, we can live with that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, like, obviously some of the changes that we had to make on it, we're not happy about.
Yeah.
But
it could be worse.
It could have gone so much worse. Yeah. And it's done. They approved our Chai Fusion label. So
yeah. So those are approved. The big change that it's big for us, but for everyone else probably not, is that and I've been wanting to talk about this because I always see the words natural flavors on not necessarily just bottles of alcohol, but everywhere. Like, it's on literally
when I buy human bones.
There's no natural flavors on this.
If I'm gonna eat like a femur or something.
Right.
Like bone with natural flavors.
Yeah. It's rare in that case, sure.
Yeah.
But even like sparkling water that I get from Wegmans has with natural flavors on it. And you're like, I always have saw those words and I'm like, well, what is natural flavor? Like, what's in here that they're not saying? I thought it was like a secret thing for like, they can add as many chemicals as they want to it. Right. But our whiskey, it's going to say with natural flavors because we use natural flavors. We use just straight cinnamon and ginger and cardamom. You know, we use just the spices, right? So it kind of is eye-opening for me when I see those things now at the grocery store, and I'm like, oh, so it could be like some chemicals in there, but also like it could be just natural.
It like could be seasonings. Something literally natural, like salt.
So it's kind of like, you know, because the government is telling them to put it on there, and it's, I don't know, like, so now I'm like, oh, is like the Wegmans sparkling water not filled with like these weird chemicals, and it's actually just like the natural flavoring of a lime that's in those sparkling waters? I don't know, but it's like, I don't know. It's, to me, it's like, it was always like those words kind of were just a little, I don't know what I'm trying to say,
weird. But it's like trying to hide MSG in something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
It has that kind of like connotation.
Yeah. But just going through the process, I now know that it's like, oh no, it could just be what it is, you know? So when we say natural flavors and on our label, it's actually just the spices. Like, that's all it is. Yeah, I'm actually excited to be at like events and flea markets and talk about people with this process, because there are a lot of like every box of anything that you see at a grocery store, it says with natural flavors. Right. And I'm like, huh, okay. Like, I'm an advocate now for natural flavors. Yeah.
But now we know what that means, at least with respect to us. And
yes,
you know.
Yeah. Now, in respect of everything else, it's just more confusing now.
Yeah. I mean, the big bummer is that, so what Nick didn't say is that term, it's used in a line that we have on our label that describes what the Chai Fusion product is, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, which obviously, if you guys have seen it, sampled it, you know, it's a corn whiskey that has the chai flavors in it. And those chai flavors are what we're referring to as natural flavors, or what we are forced to refer to as natural flavors. So it's awkward because we had to change the way that we wanted to describe the product. But I mean, we can't really argue with their logic. It just,
Yeah.
we know that there's just a negative impression when you hear that, you know, so hopefully that doesn't screw with people, or they read that and be like, yeah, what kind of like weird shit is in here, you know, but
I don't think it'll be a big deal. Ultimately, I think that maybe the three of us think about it. We're going to be thinking about it a lot more than other people are.
Probably.
I think so too. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, you know, we've never done this before.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, we have a very specific idea of what this product is.
Yeah.
And it's the very first thing that we're going to go to market with. And then all of a sudden the government comes back and says, this is different than what you say it is. It's this thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that is, it obviously it rubs us the wrong way a little bit, but like I said before, like it could have been much worse. They could have said that we had to change everything about the labels, the products, how we describe the products, how we describe all the way that we actually make that product.
Yeah.
You know, but they didn't actually bat an eye. And that's what I thought, like, because, you know, I thought we were going to have a much bigger challenge with them than we actually did. So,
right. Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, it's pretty much game on as soon as we get New York State, and that is coming hopefully pretty soon. As we've been saying, when we applied, they say 24 to 26 weeks waiting period, and this Friday would be 24 weeks. So it's like it could happen any time now. Yes, I do have a tally on my fridge of when that could be going through. They also just got at us about a temporary permit, but that is also like a 6 to 8 week period. We did apply for it, but we may not even need it because we may be approved before that even comes in anyway. But so you could start seeing us in, I mean, we are aging our chai right now, so it depends on when that is done. But you could be seeing us at farmers markets and events as early as December, but I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I'll edit that out because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, like they have a date.
Well, I mean, that's just a possibility. You could leave it in, you know, I mean, we can't set an expectation because we haven't really heard a peep from the state. They could come back, like you said, the end of next week and say, you're good to go.
We got to make sure the product is ready to go too.
Sure. What I was saying is that because we did apply for that temporary permit, there's no vetting in that part. So they can approve us before our New York State is approved to sell in the state, which means we can get our marketing permits and be at events, you know, like that, if the product is ready. But we also we have to order bottles and corks and labels and, you know, the little shrink wrap things on the top, all those things that the consumer probably doesn't realize that we have to do that costs a lot of money that we don't currently have. So will we have the funds to do it? Is the product going to be ready? And also New York State is, you know, a
lot of fun factors going into it.
Yes.
I'm trying to, so I mean, in my sickness, you know, because we were talking about this earlier, as we're trying to figure out, okay, we can start buying bottles in bulk and labels and so on. What is it actually going to cost us to just put this in a bottle? And I mean, we don't have the cost figured out yet, but it's not cheap.
No.
It's wow. I mean, and it's like, to your point, it's like you don't even think about it. But I mean, because we're little, it's not like we're Jack Daniels where they have, you know, they go through 1 million bottles a year or something like that. But, you know, for us, it's like, wow, this might actually cost us $5 or $6 a piece just to bottle an individual bottle. So, Caleb, what'd you just open?
Is that a fat tire?
It is.
Yes, I could tell by the label. I saw the back of the label. I already knew. I love Fat Tire.
I love Fat Tire. It's
so good.
It's a good beard anytime.
Definitely.
You know, my go-to always used to be Yingling. Like when we were growing up, like as kids, not kids, but when we first started going to bars, Yingling was always the go-to because it was cheap. It wasn't a Bud Light, and And lately, I don't know, Yingling just makes my stomach hurt now. It's just not as what it used to be, I don't think. But Fat Tire was like a great replacement for Yingling.
Yeah.
They still have, I don't know if you guys ever had this Killian's Red.
Oh, Killian's is awesome. Yeah, I love Killian's. Yep. Yeah.
It's still around.
Yeah, that's still around. Yeah.
All right.
You guys ever have Smittix?
Yes.
Dude, it's awesome. It's also my girlfriend's last name, but it's yeah. Well, her last name is Smithwick, but in Ireland they pronounce it Smittic. It's spelled the same.
However you want.
But it's also in Ireland. Here's a Smittic right here. It's Ruby.
It's Ruby. Hi, Ruby.
Do they pronounce it Smittic or do they say Smithwick?
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, but in Ireland they pronounce Smithwick as Smittic.
Does Molly pronounce her last name Smittic or Smithwick?
Smithwick, but every time like an old Irish guy finds out what her last name is, they correct her. And she's like, no, that stopped as soon as we came to America. Like, stop.
We're in America now. You know, generations.
But when you get a Smittic at a bar, you have to pronounce it Smittic. Like at Coleman's, they're like, what are you talking about? What's a Smithwick? And you're like, it's Smittic. Yeah.
Well, you could say that a Smithwick ordered a Smittic. That is a viable sentence. That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, that's every St. Patrick's Day. Molly hates St. Patrick's Day. I feel like actual Irish people don't like St. Patrick's Day.
I like that too, yeah.
I liked it when I was 20.
But we always get just like a 6-pack of Smittic. That's our St. Patrick's Day celebration. Anyway, you're drinking a Fat Tire. What do you think of Fat Tire, Caleb? Is it like a drink that you would normally get, you think?
No, so I didn't buy this. Sarah's son Julio came from work with like a 6-pack one day.
Oh, nice.
You want this? And I was like, well, I'm not going to turn it down. It's just a regular, I don't usually do just like a run-of-the-mill kind of beer, you know?
Right.
And I don't mean any offense to Fat Tire when I say that. You know, it's an easily drinkable beer, whereas I usually drink, you know, weird, you know, high percentage, you know, barley wine and stouts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Or like really sours and, you know, goes and stuff like that. But I do enjoy it. I'll just have a regular beer here and there. You know?
Right.
I like it.
That same brewery, New Belgium, they make all the Voodoo Rangers, and those are some of my favorite IPAs.
Those are really good IPAs, actually. Yeah.
The pumpkin beers are great.
Dude, the Atomic Pumpkin is so good.
Spicy one. Oh my God.
It's so good. It's maybe like
wonderful.
Like habanero in it or something.
Yeah, I haven't had any this season yet.
I should get some of that. Yeah, I went to. You guys been to Branching Out before?
Yeah, Branching Out's awesome.
Many times.
Got like a bunch of different pumpkin beers.
Cool, that's awesome.
Like 14% or something.
Oh my
ridiculous.
God.
Yeah, it was like a pumpkin chocolate milkshake beer, but there was no lactose in them. I checked it, like really good, and I looked it up online and everything. So
that's awesome.
That's
great. Cool. What else we got? Anything new that's going on? We talked about the events at the barbershop, Westcott's Barbershop in Central Square, October 20th, 4 to 7, I believe. We talked about the upcoming cocktail class, Whiskey Wednesday. We talked about our labels.
Wait, did we talk about the event, or was that before the podcast? I'm confusing things in my head now.
We slightly mentioned it, I think, right?
Okay, well, hopefully people
honestly can't,
as long as they know the date.
Okay, well, I'll go back and I'll edit this in. If not, we are going to be back. We are. Oh no, I don't think we did mention it on the podcast. Yeah,
I think it was before.
You're right.
We were chit-chatting too much.
Yeah, we were chit-chatting too much. All right, so a couple months ago in June, we had a really, really fun event at Westcott's Barbershop in Central Square. And they asked us back, and we're coming back, and we're very excited. We had such a great time. We met so many new people last time. Caleb and I, I don't know. I had a great time. They had like pool tables set up, and it was awesome.
People were interested in what we were doing, and we love chatting about what we love to other people. So
yeah, we had some like family come out. You had like some coworkers come out. We met some new people. It was really, really cool. Like we were talking about whiskey for like 3 straight hours. It was so much fun. And we're coming back October 20th. It's a Thursday. They call it their Thirsty Thursday series. And going back to Westcott Barbershop, 4 to 7, October 20th. Please show up if you're in the area, or if you're not in the area, it's not too far away. Come up north.
Yeah, get your haircut and get some whiskey.
The barbershop itself is awesome. I mean,
dude, it's so rad, right?
Sit in those chairs.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else aside, that would be awesome.
It's really cool. And it's like, don't worry, you won't be, well, here's the thing, it's all free samples. We can't sell our bottles yet, but it's all free samples. We'll have all 3 of our products there. If you want to support us, we'll have information on how you can join the Patreon, but this is the podcast. You're already part of the Patreon. But there'll be t-shirts for sale.
Maybe we'll have another cocktail, or what do you think?
Oh, good idea. Yeah. We did the sidecar last time.
Yeah.
And I got that big jug with the spigot on it. So yeah, maybe I'll make
we'll have to come up with something fun for October.
Yeah, that's true. Like something that looks like it's completely black or something, like
that'll be really fun. Appetizing when you're getting a haircut.
But it's Halloween,
Yeah, or you can also put it in your hair and style it.
Yes. We should put some like what's that? The dry ice and get something smoky or something. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh yeah. I have
we'll think of something for that. But October 20th, 4 to 7 at Westcott Barbershop in Central Square. So hopefully we'll see you there. It's a free event and you get free samples. And you should just schedule your haircut now. And then you can sip on our whiskey while you're getting a haircut.
Yeah, like how often do you get to do that?
I know. Yeah.
I mean, you probably do because your girlfriend cut your hair. So you could just drink at your house.
That's true.
But I don't have that type of luxury, for example.
I'm getting one tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
it's getting a little puffy on the side.
Like my side.
But Colin, you should get your haircut there. I want to watch you get a haircut. I don't know why. I want to watch you get a haircut.
Yeah.
They're good. They're great there too.
Yeah.
But
only if I can get a haircut while I'm serving whiskey, not while I'm sipping it.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need someone like standing on a milk crate behind me cutting my hair as I'm behind a table. So,
yeah, but there's gonna be hair in the whiskey. It's gonna be called the whiskey shaven.
Yeah. I love it. That's funny. Whiskey shaven. Oh my God.
That sounds horrible.
Excuse me.
Great.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I'll try it.
But we're excited to go back. It was so fun, and I'm sure this one will be just as fun. Is it time?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
I think there's only one thing we need to talk about now.
Okay.
And that is what this upcoming whiskey is going to taste like that we have in front of us.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I did keep track. Everyone wanted to know, not everyone, we wanted to know, but I did all of the research and I went back and I figured out every single mystery whiskey we've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah. Trying to think where it is. Mystery whiskeys. Yeah, so this is our 21st mystery whiskey. Cheers to 21.
All right, we are legal drinking age.
Yes, legal drinking age. And this is Colin's turn, which means it's Bridget's turn, technically, right?
Yeah. I do not know what it is. I have not smelled it. I mean, what you guys have is exactly what I have in a little, little vial. She was excited about this one. So there's that. And I mentioned this to Nick before when we were chatting the other day. But the only hint that I have is that I wasn't allowed to hold the bottle because I might be able to guess what it is by its shape. Don't know what that means. I have the bottle, right next to me. It's in a bag. I can't see what it is, but that's the hint, I guess, is like, can you think of weirdly shaped whiskey bottles?
Yeah.
No clue.
Oh.
Or not necessarily weird, but like, couldn't you identify a whiskey based on the shape of the bottle?
Yeah.
I mean, probably narrow it down for sure, but specifically one kind, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, I can't think of much.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Jack Daniels has a very unique bottle. Like if you felt that, you'd be like, oh, it's like the square. You know what I mean?
It's like a square,
yeah.
basically the shape of a decanter,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready to pour it.
All right.
Well, I need my sinuses cleared. I need to drink some of this whiskey. So
drinking out of a Glencairn today.
Nice.
It's a Lagavulin Glencairn.
Ooh,
I
nice.
too am drinking out of a Glencairn, but it is just a regular Glencairn.
Ooh, it smells good.
All right.
Ooh, wow, that is unique.
It's really nice actually in a Glencairn.
It really is.
It really hits you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it smells a little high as far as alcohol goes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm smelling like methanol through the wazoo.
Yeah, it's almost like a permanent marker, I will say.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it was like really good to a permanent marker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like smelling a Sharpie. I love it.
Yeah.
Actually smells a little fruity.
It does smell fruity, yeah.
Like
there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, yeah.
I also can't tell because I'm sick, and I've been taking like over-the-counter medicine all day. So maybe that's all I smell, but
I'm getting like
notes of chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Every time.
It smells really good, actually. Once you get past the initial hit of alcohol, it's like, this smells really nice.
When you think of permanent marker, that's when you smell it. But if you get through it, like it's almost like I'm almost like salivating, thinking about like, I love trying to find that, and this sounds so pretentious, like a whiskey snob, but like those notes of like certain foods, like this smells like a donut or something. Like it's not like a sugary donut flavored cider or something like that, but I just get those notes of like something in there that's like a glazed donut or something. I don't know.
Well, let's try it.
All right, cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Wow. I would sip on this all day long.
Me too.
It's very good.
Me too. That just warmed me right up.
Yeah. How you feeling now, Colin?
Slightly better. I'm gonna change my background.
Yeah.
I gotta go back. There we go.
Oh, I thought you were gonna put like My Little Pony up or something.
That's funny.
I don't have My Little Pony just at the ready.
What do you mean you don't? I bet he does.
But it's not safe for public eyes.
Yeah,
all right. I have a guess to where this came from. I'm gonna go ahead and say from the start, I think it's American and I think it's a bourbon. I have a lot of bourbon notes to this. I don't know if either of you agree or
this
disagree.
Reminds me of? This is probably way off. Reminds me of Dickel.
Dickel, good. Oh, okay. Which is a bourbon, right?
Yeah, I think so. But anytime that I've had Dickel,
besides the hot sauce one, Tabasco,
not counting that. Yeah. Just like their regular. I can't remember what the actual like general product is. I have always thought that it was like,
this is good.
A little. It was always sweet on the nose, but it was not usually like it didn't really taste like that. So I don't know. It reminds me of that.
Wow. I have more guesses judging by the color. I think it's pretty long age, maybe 10 years ish. ABV
85 maybe.
Well, that'd be proof, right? ABV, I'd say, yeah, 47.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 43 to 45, right in there.
Well, this is what I think. I also think it's American. I don't necessarily think it's Dickel, but I also do agree that it probably, well, it either was aged for quite a long time or it was some kind of double cask aging where either it was finished in something that was dark, like a wine or like a port or something like that.
Ooh, good question. I need a little bit more to figure this out.
Yeah, right. I also think it's probably a little bit higher, maybe like a 92 proof.
Yeah, 47 would be right around
47 would be
94 ish.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be around there. Yeah, I definitely think because this color is really dark, you know. Like it's unusually dark for like a bourbon. But
That's true. But also, I don't know if we're gonna know how old it is because bourbons don't usually say that.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
I mean,
I think I have a guess.
He gets it immediatly. Like
he's just gonna say.
I'm gonna be very particular. I'm gonna go with.
He gets the barrel number and everything down, right?
Yeah.
Barrel 53.
I'm gonna go with the brand Bullet.
Oh, okay.
Because I know I've seen a few different varieties of theirs. They do have a cask strength one. I'm not gonna pick that one. They have a 10-year aged one, and I know because I've gotten it pretty recently that the ABV is slightly higher on that one.
Interesting.
Like around 45 or something, which is kind of what I was thinking. And it falls in line because it's a bourbon, and I'm tasting that as well.
And they do have a unique bottle.
They have those thinner. I mean, there's like engraving on that type of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's basically Braille for us. We would figure it out.
Yeah.
I feel like this isn't cask strength because that can be really harsh sometimes.
Yeah. Which is also a bourbon, which it would fit. It fits everything.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Yeah.
Obviously American. I don't think I'm gonna get any points on this one because I'm just being so vague. I really don't know.
Yeah.
When you mentioned finished in something else, that makes a lot of sense, but I'm not tasting what that could be finished in. It doesn't taste like a wine to me.
It could just be, like I'm not tasting anything on it. I mean, it smelled kind of fruity. Like, where is that Sharpie flavor coming from? You know,
I'm getting like a sugar.
I feel like it might have just been finished for a very little while just for color. But
this sounds crazy, but I'm getting like a candy corn aftertaste.
Candy
really?
Corn?
Yeah. Wow. I know, crazy.
1911 has a candy corn.
I know, we sell them at Singers, and it's awful. I'm sorry,
it's disgusting.
You guys have had it?
I've had it, yeah, and it tastes.
Try that. All right.
It tastes like more like cotton candy than it does candy corn, in my opinion.
But that's not what you should be drinking in an alcoholic beverage on its own. It's just not right.
I sold so many of those last night at Singers. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, at least you're making money off of it.
I'm almost thinking I should go with the barrel proof version of that. I don't know. It is. The more I have it, the more I'm like, this is really a higher ABV. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that my final answer is it's a bourbon. I can't give you a brand name. Uh, 93 to 4 proof. And yeah, I that's all I can really give you, I think.
Got it.
Okay.
It's very sweet on the end to me, which is great. I mean, not too sweet. I don't think it's a flavored whiskey. I just think
No.
it's
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The more you sip on it, yeah, the more it's refreshing. It is refreshing.
yeah, like I would
Right on the nose, it's immediately sweet.
yeah, but it's like sugar sweet, like candy corn or like some sort of candy or something. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like that like powdered sugar like frosting
Right.
frosting. Tastes like vanilla frosting almost. It's crazy that like we can pinpoint these things out. I don't know if a year ago we would have been able to.
Probably
But
not. I also am gonna like probably like unveil this bottle, and it's gonna be like a 15-year-old Japanese whiskey that we're
I know.
all way off and be like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I guess that showed us right.
I don't know. I feel like we're
I think
all
we're
pretty
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
we sometimes we can be way off.
Yeah.
Like of the three of us.
Yeah.
can be
Well, I
way
like to go
off
against the
from
grain
each
sometimes.
other.
So I'll like guess something kind of different, but I really think that
Yeah, I think we're all on the same path here. Should I grab?
Yeah, I think it's time.
All right.
Colin, did you want to say anything else before you open it? Do you have anything else to
Do you have price point or no?
No, I didn't get a price point.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look. See what it is. So I got this paper bag here.
It's invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Jefferson's Ocean aged at sea.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's a rye.
It's a rye, double barrel rye whiskey. All right. Let's see if we can get another description in here. This is like, this little thing is like actually no help at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it's just, so it's 96 proof.
Okay. I was pretty close.
We were close there. It is a bourbon, obviously.
But it says rye.
Oh yeah,
Is it a high rye bourbon?
It's not a, yeah, it might be a high rye. Yeah, actually, it's just labeled as a rye whiskey. I guess it's not really a bourbon.
Because Jefferson's typically makes bourbon.
Yeah. Jefferson's DBA is Jefferson's Bourbon Company.
Oh, cool.
FYI. So, yeah. They just describe it as, ocean rye, double barrel rye whiskey, which means it was in more than one barrel. So there's that.
Yep.
48% alcohol by volume. So you were damn close there.
That's close, yeah.
I don't know what the flavors are. I mean, it doesn't describe it.
Yeah.
So it says it's aged first in charred barrels and then split between another charred barrel and a toasted barrel. Okay.
That gives it that extra darkness that we're.
Yeah, so that's where that color comes from. Okay, that makes sense. It doesn't really describe much else, at least on the bottle itself. So there's not too much to take away from there. So like for a flavor profile, it's hard to.
I guess some of those sweeter notes or those, I guess, spicier notes that were the rye that we were tasting.
Yeah.
So, Rye's not really sweet, but it definitely stands out. And something was standing out. I just couldn't place it.
You know what's amazing is the fact that it's a rye whiskey and none of us picked up on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all tasted rye because we thought it was a bourbon. So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't state what like percentage of rye it is or anything else like that, but the fact that they're describing it as a rye and none of us actually pinpointed rye on its own, I think is kind of surprising.
I know. Do any of us get any points?
Such a distinct flavor, you know? Like we
all kind of were on the same page.
We've had a rye whiskey and have not been able to identify that.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we all just split a point, or should Nick edge it out because he was closest on ABV?
I don't know. I was going to say, should any of us get any points at all? Because we're all
I don't know.
We're all pretty far away.
Yeah. I think it's a draw.
We all have we're in the ballpark, but like we all got maybe like one small aspect of it, but that was it.
Yeah.
You know? Like we all thought it was a bourbon. It's not a bourbon. So like that alone, it's like, okay, we're off there. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that was a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an excellent choice. Excellent choice. This is a really good whiskey.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yep.
I have half of it left.
I like it a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, everybody, that's the podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And thank you for subscribing to our Patreon. I did the next couple of months for people who get the extra cocktail kit. This month, Molly is getting the extra kit. And in November, Jake will be getting the extra kit. So that's the next couple of months. Also, I got a text from Jake. He said, sorry for mixing the last couple classes, but he just bought a new house. So congrats to Jake.
Good for him.
And I got his new address and it's still in Cicero. So still, it's like right around the corner.
It's on my route.
Yeah, it's on Caleb's or Colin's route. Yep. Excuse me. But congrats to Jake.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. So he'll be able to just double fist a new cocktail or just two cocktails in his new house.
Yes.
Or maybe he should have a friend over.
I guess, you know what we're going to do? We should do a tasting in his new house.
We should just invite ourselves over.
Yes. So congrats to him. And November, you'll be getting an extra kit. Molly's getting it this month. Last month was the first time that we given away an extra kit, and then someone new got the kit. So we had Joel Bennett, longtime friend and patron of Singers, was on our last cocktail class. He was a great guest, by the way.
Yeah, that was
considering his friend didn't even show up.
I know. Holly, what the hell? Where were you?
Right?
In her defense, she's usually in the class. She hardly misses one of them.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. We'll see everybody. Whiskey Wednesday open to all tiers on next Wednesday, October 12th. October 24th is the cocktail class. We're doing a sugar cookie old fashioned. Very excited about. Aurora Cafe and Gifts will be our special guest. And October 20th, we will be set up. This is for anyone who wants to come. Free samples. Come get a haircut at Westcott Barbershop in Central Square from 4 to 7
They
p.m.
give a pool. There's a pool table there.
Yes.
Yeah, you can play pool and drink and
get a haircut.
Your haircut.
I think there's a dartboard there too.
Yeah.
There's what?
A dartboard too.
There is. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
Basically like a bar.
Yes. Yes. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, you guys.
Adios.